Okay, so now we will work in the let's find out section. We have 4 parts: A, Part B, Part C, and Part D. But now be careful. I want you to change to look at Part B and Part C and make some changes. Instead of the nearest hundredth, it should be nearest thousands, okay? And Part C, you should change the thousands into hundreds, okay? Nearest hundredth. Okay, so now let's work with Part A. I will choose, how about 3? I like 3. Okay, let's work with number 3. And for number 3, we have, okay, in Part A, we have to round off the marked digit, well, to the nearest tenth, okay? So where's the 10th place? The 10th place is here, right? So the marked digit should be the number in the 10th place. In this case, is a 0. Okay, it's a 0. Ooh, it's a 0. Okay, so what is the number right next to the, to the right of the marked digit? Is a 2. So 2 is less than 5. Therefore, it follows rule number 2. Rule 2, because 2 is less than 5. Remember, rule 2 says that any number that is less than 5, such as it's either 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you have to follow rule 2. So in this case, we follow the rule 2, and according to rule 2, we just keep as it is. Keep the marked digit as it is. We don't add anything. And for 2, we change the 2 into a 0, and also the number after 2 is also changed into 0. So, I'm having some problem here. So I'll rewrite. The rounded number will be 0, just stays as a 0. 2 now will become a 0. Oops. We replace the 2 with a 0, and the number after 2 should also be replaced with a 0 because it doesn't really hold any meaning. So what we got here is actually a 0.000, which is basically just 0, right? So for for number 3, Part A, the rounded off number will be 0. Here, go with this. Okay, let's move to Part B. For Part B, we have to round off the number to the nearest thousand. Okay, we have to, for Part B, we have to round off the number to the nearest thousands. Okay, I will work with number 10. How about that? Number 10. Okay, for number 10, we have, oops. Okay, 412 thousandths. And we have to round off to the nearest thousands. Okay, nearest thousand. So at the thousandths place, we have a 2. So 2 will be the marked digit. Oops. 2 will be the marked digit. And what is right next? What is to the right of the 2? There's nothing. Well, nothing, which means nothing means that there is a 0 here, right? Okay, so we can just write a 0 there because 0 having no number basically means that there is only a 0 there, a number that holds no meaning. So we can say that 412 thousandths is equal to 4,120 thousandths. 10 thousandths, right? 412 thousandths is equal to 4,120 10 thousandths. So we just put a 0 there. Then a 0 is less than 5. So we follow rule 2. Rule 2. Because rule 2 says any number that is less than 5 So any number that is either a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 has to follow row 2. So we follow row 2 in this case. And in row 2 says that you just keep the number as it is. The marked digit 2 will just stay as it is. Then this 0 will also just stay as a 0. Be replaced with a 0. Basically just stay as a 0. So the answer will be 4, 1, then 2 stay the same here, then the 0. So when we round off 412 thousandths to the nearest thousandths place, we just got the same number, right? And that's the answer for number 10. Okay, then now let's move to the part C. Part C says round off the marked digit to the nearest hundredth. And for part C, I would like to work with, how about number 14? Okay, number 14 we have number 14. We have 91 thousandths, and we want to round it off to the nearest hundredth. This place. So the marked digit will be the 9. I will circle it. This is the marked digit. To the right of the marked digit, there is a 1, and 1 should follow row 2, right? Because any number that is either 1, 2, that is smaller than 5, basically 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 should follow row 2. So we follow row 2 here. 9 is just retains its original value, and 1 is replaced with a 0. So the answer will be 9 stays the same, and 1 becomes 0. We replace it with a 0. So when we round off this number to the nearest hundredth place, then the result is 90,000. Okay, that's the rounded off value, rounded off number. Okay, now let's move to part D. For part D, I will work with number 17. How about that? Number 17. We have for number 17. Okay, we have to round off to the nearest 10,000. So where's the 10,000th place? It's here, right? 10,000th place. We have a 3 at that place. So the 3 will be the marked digit, and I will circle it to make it clear. To the right of the marked digit, there is another 3. Okay, so 3 is less than 5. Therefore, it follows row 2. Right? Because 3 is less than 5. Then now in rule 2 says that you just don't do anything to this marked digit. The marked digit stays the same, and you just change the number to the you just change the digit to the right of the marked digit into a 0. So the answer will be the same. Then 3 stays the same, and then this 3 we replace it with a 0. So the final answer will be 86,330, 100,000. That's the answer. Okay, that's the answer for number 17 in part D.